Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for checking the video out. Today we have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover today. So before we get into these topics, do me a big favor. If you do end up enjoying this video or finding it informative, be sure to leave it a like, hit that subscribe button if you're new, and consider hitting that join button as well and becoming an official channel member to gain access to some exclusive perks. I would really appreciate that. But we're diving into the first topic here, which is some good news for anybody who owns a PS5 and is also subscribed to Disney+. It seems that a native PS5 app is on the way. So reading from PlayStation Lifestyle, it says a native Disney+ PS5 app is on the horizon nearly 2 years after the console's launch. Reddit user the Anshrew2 spotted a PSN database entry for a beta version of the app, apparently codenamed Vader. It comes with an image, but no further information is available. That said, now that it's appeared in the back end, it shouldn't be long before PS5 users can ditch the PS4 app that they've been using via backwards compatibility, compromising streaming quality. As previously mentioned, PSN backend database entries don't always reveal release dates, and it looks like the app version that the Redditor found was a beta version. This doesn't necessarily mean that it'll be a while before we get the native Disney Plus PS5 app though. Our guess is that it will be out within the next week or two, and so obviously I will update you guys if that is officially announced. So yeah, let me know if you're somebody who's subscribed to Disney Plus. Is this something that you're going to take advantage of when it officially launches? Next up, we're talking about the lineup for PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium members for August. This was just officially announced by Sony, and unfortunately, it seems like it might be bad news for anybody who is hoping for some new PlayStation Plus Premium classics. So it says here, coming from Nibellion on Twitter, coming to PS Plus Extra and Premium members on August 16th, Yakuza 0, Kiwami and Kiwami 2, Dead by Daylight, Ghost Recon Wildlands, and Bug Snacks. And then also coming, Metro Exodus, Trials of Mana, Everspace, Uno, and Monopoly Madness / Plus. So all in all, if you are a subscriber to PlayStation Plus Extra, I think this is a very good lineup, and it really seems like Sony, in my opinion, is doing a very good job in making sure that they are adding some quality titles each month, at least so far. I mean, this new service hasn't been available for all that long, but I guess it's safe to say that PlayStation Plus Extra is off to a very, very good start, and it's only getting better. However, the same cannot be said as of right now for PlayStation Plus Premium, and I really have to question what Sony's doing here. As you can see, there are no classics announced, and so as of right now, it's really difficult to determine if this just means that that's it. There are no classics being added for the month of August, or if maybe they're going to announce it next week. I mean, I'm going to say that we shouldn't assume there's going to be another announcement, because it doesn't really make sense. If they were going to announce it, it would come in this blog post. But yeah, if there's one area where I think Sony is really dropping the ball, it's with PS Plus Premium. I don't think they're doing anything really to incentivize people to want to upgrade to that, and to, you know, for those who are excited about classics, for those who care about it, and for those who may consider upgrading to Premium for them, they're really not doing anything at all here. So, you know, I'm not sure what's up with that, but hopefully that changes. I feel like it's going to have to change. But something else I also want to point out before moving on here is, aside from PS Plus Extra just continuing to look like a great deal month over month, I also want to shout out the fact that Sony has, as of now, still done a good job with PlayStation Plus Essential, because we already saw those games announced, and they're very good games. A lot of people are saying that this is one of the best lineups for PS Plus that we've ever gotten, and so I think that is worth noting, how Sony is still prioritizing the quality, as of right now anyway, and, you know, hopefully it stays that way for PlayStation Plus Essential. It just really seems like Premium, unfortunately, is the tier that's being almost completely neglected right now. Maybe Sony's not too worried about it because they're working on it behind the scenes, so we'll see. But let me know what you guys think of the PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium lineup. I mean, it feels weird to even say Premium, but specifically the PlayStation Plus Extra lineup for August. But we're moving on to the next topic here, and I came across an article from PlayStation Universe, where the title says PS5 pulls ahead of the Xbox Series X and S as UK's second most popular console of 2022. Sony's PS5 has edged ahead of the Xbox Series consoles in the UK, becoming the country's second most popular console of 2022 so far, behind the Nintendo Switch. That's despite the fact that console sales were down in July compared to the previous month, with PS5 sales dipping by 14%. Both Sony and Microsoft's new-gen consoles are still being held back by ongoing stock shortages, something which has been affecting both machines since their November 2022 launch. Overall, nearly 104,000 game consoles were shifted during the UK in July 2022, according to GamesIndustry.biz, representing a 16% decline overall compared to the previous month. And so, I thought this was worth pointing out because, we are seeing both of these consoles, as it points out, still affected by the shortage, but I have a feeling going into the holiday season, it's not going to be nearly as bad. I would imagine that both Sony and Microsoft, and especially Sony, considering some of the titles they have releasing, such as The Last of Us Part 1 and God of War, are working really hard to secure a lot of units to be able to kind of flood the market, at least temporarily. But still, looking at how things are going in the UK, the PS5 is, as of right now, the preferred console, but neither the PS5 nor the Xbox Series can seemingly outdo the Switch. And so, to me, it's interesting to see this because I feel like this is kind of how it's been, right? Where we see the Switch and then we see the PS5 and then, the Xbox. Now, this is just for the UK. I think globally, the PS5 is still ahead of the Xbox consoles. And so going forward, it's going to be, I think, fascinating to see how these numbers change for both Sony and Microsoft once Sony starts releasing more heavy hitter games that are PS5 exclusive. And then obviously for Microsoft, once they start releasing some of their own heavy hitter games like Starfield and others that are coming down the line, it'll be interesting for sure to see, how these numbers fluctuate. But I figured I would let you know about that. Next up, we're talking about the PS5 and input latency apparently being cut in half for Guilty Gear Strive. This is reading from Push Square, where it says platform holder Sony, fighting game tournament Evo, and engine maker Epic Games all said that they would come together to solve PS5's input lag problem, and it's happening. After promising early signs, with Multiverse's developer Arc System Works said over the weekend that a new patch would improve the latency of its popular fighting game Guilty Gear Strive on the new-gen console. Further testing shows that it's now the best console version of the game. You can see above that in 4K on PS5, the input lag has effectively been cut in half with the latest update. Understandably, it's still not as responsive as the PC version in 1080p, but this is a much more palatable read for pro players. Looks like the aforementioned companies have delivered on their promise. So I wanted to give you this small update. I think it's always cool to see things like this happen, and so hopefully we will, continue to see a trend of developers where input latency is very important, right? Obviously at a high level, but hopefully we will continue to see other developers kind of tap into this and just refine it and reduce the input latency for these games as much as possible. I think in general, people are mostly satisfied with the input latency when it comes to the DualSense and the PS5. I've heard it's really, really good. I mean, just from my personal experience, it's been really good. But obviously when you're talking about pro players, you really kind of get into the weeds at that point, and every little change helps dramatically. So moving on to the next topic, we have a game that apparently looks like it's going to be a graphical powerhouse on the PS5 and PS4 called The First Descendant. So reading from Push Square, it says The First Descendant is an upcoming free-to-play third-person cooperative looter shooter in the vein of Outriders, powered by Unreal Engine 5, and while we'll only have a brief teaser to judge it by, it sure is a looker. The First Descendant is coming to PS5 and PS4, although there is no word on a release date as of yet. Developed by Korean studio Nexon Games, The First Descendant, previously known as Project Magnum, features massive boss encounters, up to 4-player co-op with a particular focus on mobility, with players able to use both jump packs and grappling hooks to navigate the battlefield. Outside of what we see in this brief teaser trailer, Nexon has released the following information on the game. They're saying that there will be charming and unique characters, exciting battles and dynamic action using various skills and firearms, battles with huge boss monsters through cooperative play, and motivating play and growth. So yeah, there are further descriptions for each one of those key features I just listed, but I think you guys get the gist. I think you guys understand what this game is, and so I just thought it was worth pointing out because a lot of people were saying how the game does look pretty good. And so yeah, I mean, it is cross-gen, so I don't know like how much it's going to be able to take advantage of the PS5, and I believe it's a multi-platform game as well. But nonetheless, I did see some people talking about it, so I figured I would just relay it to you guys. Now, the final topic we have talks about an upcoming gaming event, that being Gamescom Opening Night Live. As we know, when it comes to events like this, and Geoff Keighley is hosting it, you know, expectations have to, unfortunately, maybe be reduced. That's no offense to Geoff Keighley, but it's just the reality of it. And so I have an article here from Push Square that says Gamescom Opening Night Live stream is somehow 2 hours long with over 30 games. Despite the fact that Summer Game Fest 2022 felt worryingly flat at times, Geoff Keighley has somehow managed to promise a 2-hour show for Gamescom Opening Night Live, which takes place on August 23rd. The man himself also promises over 30 games on stage and an in-person audience of thousands. It certainly sounds impressive. Of course, our worry is that there won't actually be much to shout about during the show. As mentioned, Summer Game Fest stream and many of the individual events that surrounded it lacked big announcements, even though it was meant to be something of a replacement for E3. We just don't see how Geoff can put together another show just a couple of months later and expect to blow people's minds, especially when publishers will surely be eyeing the Game Awards 2022 as the best venue for their most important reveals. And so I think this is a very fair question that Push Square is asking, because I feel as though it's the question that pretty much everybody's asking, and that is, you know, can we really feel excited for Gamescom? Now, I don't want to be overly negative, but honestly speaking, I do think that going into this show, especially because for us being, you know, PlayStation fans, Sony's not going to be there, we should probably have very low expectations. And, you know, I think going in with low or no expectations, you know, may open the door to be slightly surprised by something, even just one thing, right? Either way, I think we can all agree that it'll be nice to watch something, to tune into something, but knowing that it's 2 hours long makes me a little nervous, you know, because Summer Game Fest was kind of tough at times, and that's the thing with these shows that Geoff Keighley puts on. Again, no offense to him, but they seem to kind of drag on a little bit, and that's the thing that I really struggle with. So I'm just hoping, even though I just said to have no expectations, but I still can't help but just hope a little bit that there should be something, at least one thing, right? Like if I tune into Gamescom and there's just at least one thing, I'll feel okay. So I just wanted to let you guys know about that, because right now, you know, things are pretty dry, things are very quiet, and I think right now all eyes are on Gamescom. And you know, I think Geoff's coming out here, 2 hours long, 30 games. All right, let's see. Anyway, guys, that does it for the video. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you did find it informative. Again, leave it a like if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.